Uh,
Yes, brother. Do you want to ask anything?
1 second.
Hello, sir.
Hi there.
What about your classes? When you start?
So the thing is, it has been a long break, and I'm planning to start next week, but not exactly the one-on-one sessions. But I'll be starting the group sessions.
Group
So I'll be
sessions.
working on it. I have a few things to still cover, so I'll be doing that first.
Where at your home or something else?
Yes, I'll be
Something
teaching
another
from home.
place.
I'll be teaching from my home, but it will be live sessions.
Live sessions. Okay.
So what's your plan? Are you planning to start again?
No, no.
All right. Can you see the whiteboard?
Yes.
Yes.
And one more thing is, we are already live on YouTube, so we already had a question from Olivia that she is struggling with the reading module, specifically with 3 question types. They are matching the headings, sentence completion, and true false not given. So in this session, we'll try our best to complete all 3 of them. Olivia, simple question: do you have the Cambridge volume printout on your side?
Yes, I do have it.
So
I do have it, sir.
select any of the Cambridge volumes that you have, and let me know which ones you selected with these question types in particular, so we can solve them. I'll share my screen. I'll show you it on the screen.
Okay. Please, I didn't get you well. Like in now.
Right now, just pick up any Cambridge volume 1 to
my
19.
God. I can't lay my hand on them right now because I'm at work.
Okay. Let's do one thing.
Yeah, I'm attending a session at work. Let's see.
Oh, today I matching headings prepare.
Matching headings, I did not get you. So we already had 3 questions. One was matching headings, one was true false not given, and the last one was sentence completion. Let's start with true false not given, as we already have this on the screen. So Olivia, what's your strategy of solving true false not given? Anybody can answer, but we'll start with Olivia. Olivia, will you be able to speak? You already mentioned that you're at work.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so my question
I
was,
said, yeah, I get your question.
so how do you solve this?
I said I read the question first, try to understand it, then I go down to the passage.
Okay, so you
See
first read
if
the question,
what I have read. Yes,
then
I go down to the passage,
you go to the passage, then
and I try to see if I try to see if the question matches the passage or the passage matches the question.
okay. So how do you conclude whether it is true, false, or not given?
Some are kind of easy, like I can take, for example, let's say Olivia is a tall girl from the passage, from the question. Olivia is a tall girl. But when I go to the passage, if I say Olivia is a tall girl, that means it is true. If I say Olivia is a short girl, it means it is false. But if I say Olivia is black or is fair in complexion, Olivia works at Immaculate Conception, I didn't say anything like height, tall, or I take it like not completed, not given. Yeah. but some are really difficult to come out with the answers. So that is my challenge. Some are really confusing, to be sincere.
Okay, so I got your perspective. What you do is you read your questions first, then you try to go to the passage and you do your own logical thing, whether it is true, false, or not given, depending on the context.
Yes.
The strategy is correct. Let's add a few more things, few more details, which will help you dissect the question, as well as you'll be able to understand whether the answer is right or wrong. Let's add a few more steps. So the first thing you will do is you will read the question, and what I want you to do is I want you to separate the ideas. I want you to segregate the ideas. So can you please read the first question and tell me where can I put a slash? This is called the slash method. So we'll just try to separate the ideas, different ideas. Can you separate the ideas in this one, or should I do the first one for you?
Yes, sir. Please.
Okay, I'll do the first one for you. So the question says people had expected Andy Murray. Can we separate this idea? This is one idea. People had expected someone to become the world's top tennis player. This is also another idea. For at least 5 years. This is also one idea. And there is one more information that it should be before 2016. Can you see 4 different ideas in one question?
Yes, sir.
I'll do it one more time for the second question, and then I'll ask you to do the same thing for the third one. The change that Andy Murray made to what? To his rackets did what? Attracted a lot of attention. Can you see 3 ideas? 3 different ideas in the same question. Try to do the same thing for the fourth one.
Okay. Most of the world's top players,
So we'll put a slash.
yeah, take a professional rocket striker
Stringer
or
on tour with them.
sorry,
So there are 3
On
ideas. So
tour with them.
So we cannot predetermine
Yes,
whether there will be 2 ideas, 3 ideas, or 4 ideas. It will be completely dependent on the question, because this has 4 ideas. And the question below it has 3 ideas. So it depends completely. So what I want you to do is, while solving the question, let's say that we are only focusing on the first question, you should mark the keywords, and you should make sure that you look at the keywords for the second answer as well, second question as well. I'll explain why and how later on. To change that Andy Murray made to his rackets attracted a lot of attention. So attracted a lot of attention. This is a keyword. Top players is a keyword. On tour with them. This is also a keyword. So the reason I'm marking the keywords as well is because when you solve true, false, not given, you will notice one thing, that every single time the answers will be in sequence. Only after the first answer you will come across the second answer. Have you ever noticed that? Olivia, have you noticed this thing, that all the answers for true, false, not given and yes, no, not given is always in sequence?
Yes, sir. Yes, they
Correct.
come in sequence.
So what we can do is we can trap the answer. I'll just hypothetically tell you where the answers are. Let's say the first answer is somewhere here. So I know this for sure, that the second answer will never be above this. It will always be below the first answer. Let's say hypothetically that the second answer is somewhere here. Now I know this for sure, that the third answer is only below this. So with this information, what we can do is we can trap the answers. Let's say that we already found the first answer. We were looking for the second answer, and we are just assuming that it is not given. We just still don't know, but we were not able to find the actual information in this paragraph, this part. So what we do is we find the keyword for the third answer, and we come across the answer for third one. So what now happens is, this answer is trapped between first and third answer. So the second answer has to be somewhere here. If not, then we can go with not given. Did you get the trap method, how to trap the answers with the help of keywords?
Yes, sir.
That is one thing.
Yes, sir.
Second thing is, you can ask individual questions to these points, and we can find these information individually. For instance, the moment you find people had expected something from Andy Murray, that means this information is given. This is true. Let's say you also find the second information to become the world's top tennis player. We also found the information. At least 5 years. This is also found. But this thing is given in the passage as 2015, not 16. So we found that one information is wrong and the rest is right. So what would the answer be?
False.
False. What if the year is missing in the passage? The year is not mentioned. They expected him to be the top player, but the year is not mentioned in the passage. What would the answer be? The year is not mentioned at all.
Not given.
Not given, exactly. And let's say this is exactly mentioned 2016. The only difference is that the things are paraphrased. It is written in a different way, but every single information is given in there. So what would you select now?
I didn't catch that, please.
Sorry?
I didn't get what you said.
Okay, let's say that you found the first information. People had expected Andy Murray. You found the second information to become the world's top tennis player. You found the third information as well for at least 5 years, and the fourth information is also given that it was before 2016. The only change you see is the words are slightly different, but the meaning is exactly the same. What they did is paraphrased the question. What would you select now? The meaning is exactly the same as per the question.
The meaning are the same as per the question.
So we'll go with true,
Without any
false, or not
changes.
given.
It is true.
It is true. So this is what I
If
want to
everything,
understand.
yeah.
If everything is?
I'm saying if everything is there which is being paraphrased, means it is true. The answer will be true.
Perfect. So always remember this is paraphrasing, and we should expect the words to change but the meaning to be the same. Words will be different but the meaning is exactly the same. The way we do paraphrasing for our speaking part, we always paraphrase the question of the examiner, but we answer the same question. We don't respond the answer with something else. We always paraphrase and we respond in a different way, but the answer is same. We do the same thing for IELTS essays. We always paraphrase the question. So just like that, whenever you find paraphrasing, that means the answer is true. Whenever you find an information contradicting, or let's say you find antonyms, that means the answer should be false. And of course, when the information is not given, we'll always go with not given. So we have added a few layers, extra layers to help us find the answers. What we'll do is we'll always mark the keywords. We'll always slash the information. We'll always have the second answers, not the one that we are solving. The second answers or the one after that, we'll always remember the keywords so that when we come across the keywords, we should know that this answer is already given somewhere beyond that, and after that, the second answer is given. And we'll individually check if all the information matches. Let's try the same thing. So the first question says, people had expected Andy Murray to become the world's top tennis player for at least 5 years before 2016. Can you please read the first passage out loud and tell me if it is true, false, or not given? And you also need to justify whatever answer you select, you need to tell me why you selected that.
Please expand the screen.
Can you please read it out loud and try to find out the first answer? I'm here to help you. If you don't understand any words, if you don't understand the meaning of any sentences, I'll be helping you out. But you will need to select an answer after you read.
Alright, since I'm using my phone, please you permit me.
You should try zooming the screen. You should be able to zoom the screen.
Alright, I just did it. In 2016, the British professional tennis player Andy Murray was ranked as the world's #1. It was an incredible achievement by any standard, made even more remarkable by the fact that he did this during a period considered to be one of the strongest in the sport history, competing against the likes of Rafael Nadal, Roger Federer, and Novak
Djokovic.
They mean me without name.
D is silent. Djokovic.
Ijovic.
Djokovic.
To name just Djokovic. All right, Djokovic. To name just a few. Yet 5 years previously, he had been regarded as a talented outsider who entered but never won the major tournament.
Okay, so what do you conclude? What is the answer?
Let me think, sir.
You did not understand a single thing. This will happen. This will happen a lot of times. Okay, I'll finish. So this will happen a lot of times. The thing is, right now you were asked to read things out loud. So your focus was on reading the things accurately so everybody over here can understand. Was that the case?
Yes.
So what happens is you were asked to solve the question, but your focus was not on solving or finding the answer. You're focusing on reading. So what I need you to do is make sure that you read every single day in your mind as well as out loud whenever possible. This will make reading more comfortable for you. What I'll do is I'll read the passage. I'll explain the paragraphs, the sentences word by word, and then I'll again ask the same question. What is the answer? So in 2016, the British professional player Andy Murray was ranked as the world's number one. So he was already declared world's number one in 2016. It was an incredible achievement by any standard, made even more remarkable by the fact that he did this during the period considered to be one of the strongest in sports history. So in the year 2016, there were other players like Rafael Nadal, Roger Federer and Novak Djokovic. So these were world-class players and he was able to beat everyone and he became world's number one, Andy Murray. Yet 5 years previously, so 2011, he had been regarded as a talented outsider who entered many games, but he never won any major tournaments. Did you understand the passage now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's see if the answer is true, false or not given. So people had expected Andy Murray to become world's top tennis player. Did they expect them or was he already a world's number one player? In 2016, in 2016 he was already world's number one player, and here it clearly says that before 5 years they did not expect him to be the world's number one player. He was just a talented outsider who used to join and enter matches, but he never won any major tournaments. So here this information is contradicting.
False.
Did you see that this is contradicting? Before 5 years, they did not expect him to be world's number one player. They just saw him as a talented outsider who joined these tournaments, but he never won any of them. So one information is contradicting, the rest is true. So as we have this contradicting information, what should we select? True, false or not given?
False.
False. And one more thing is, did we come across anything about Andy Murray attracting attention or anything like that? No. So we just read the passage. These things are fresh in our mind. So now we'll be looking for answer number 2. We already slashed it ahead. And now we'll look for the third one. So here it says racket stringer. Just remember this word racket stringer while we are solving the second answer. So once we come across the word stringer, we should know that the answer number 3 has started. Now we'll just focus on answer number 2. The change that Andy Murray made to his rackets attracted a lot of information. Is it true? Let's see. Of the changes that accounts for, can you please read this one?
Of the changes that accounts for this transformation, one was visible and widely publicized in 2011. Moral invited former number one player Ivan Lendl onto his coaching team. A valuable addition that had a visible impact on the player's playing style Another change was so subtle
The word is subtle. The
as to
B is
pass.
silent. Any idea what you mean by subtle? Any idea what is subtle? Okay, subtle means something that is barely visible or barely noticeable. That is subtle. So another change was so small that people didn't even notice, and it is exactly what is said. Was so subtle as to pass more or less unnoticed. People did not even notice this change. Like many players,
Like many players, Mara has long preferred a racket that consists of two types of string. One for the mains, that's in bracket vertical, and another for the crosses horizontal.
okay. So
While
we'll
he
stop here.
continued to use natural string.
Hold on,
Yeah.
we'll stop here. So it already mentions something about changes. So here we are looking for a change. The change that Andy Murray made. What change did he made? What change did he make?
He made two rackets.
He had preferred two
He
rackets
made
always.
two types of string.
Yeah, it doesn't say he made it. He just preferred it. So he might have purchased it from
He
somewhere.
preferred.
But he preferred these two types of strings. One was for the mains, the vertical ones, and other ones for crosses. And this change, did everybody notice? Did it attract a lot of attention, or it went unnoticed?
It was unnoticed.
So this information is contradicting.
Yes, unnoticed. Yes, false.
The answer is false. So this is how you solve this one. Let's solve one or two more. So next keyword is a racket stringer for the third. We'll also look for one more keyword, that is Mike and Bob Bryan. And when it comes to keywords, you should look out for proper nouns. Do you know what are nouns? Parts of speech. You might have heard about nouns, pronouns, verbs, adverbs, all these things.
Yeah.
Okay, noun is the name of a person, animal, place, thing, idea, or a concept.
Place, thing.
You are able to recall everything. See, it's not mandatory that you memorize all this definition. I do remember it because I teach it frequently. The thing is, when it comes to nouns, there are two types of nouns. There are common nouns and proper nouns. So Mike and Bob, these are proper nouns. Give me a second. Just give me one. All right, I'm back. So Mike and Bob, let's say Jaison, Olivia, and others. So we have all these names. So all of them are called proper nouns because these are proper names. But what if I say man, woman, children? These are not proper nouns, but these are still name of a person, animal, place, thing, idea, concept. So common nouns and proper nouns. The best part about proper nouns for IELTS reading is that we can easily find proper nouns in the passages. For instance, here you go. Did you find Mike and Bob Bryan? So what we need to do is we need to write here number 4, and now we know this thing for sure that the third answer, we know that the second answer is here, the first answer is here. Now we know this for sure that the third answer has to start after this, and the third answer will end before the fourth keyword. So the third answer is somewhere in middle, if it is given at all. If it is not given, you won't be able to find the information. Did you understand the trap method?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we'll start from this one. So most of the world's top players take a professional racket stringer on tour with them. So can you please start from while he continued to use? So this is still about Andy Murray, but we are looking for most of the world's top players, so they will still generalize the passage. Can you please start from here? While he continued.
Wait,
Can you please start reading?
am I the
from
one to start?
Yeah. From here.
Okay. Yeah. Why he continued to use natural string in the crosses. In 2012, he switched to a synthetic string for the mains. A small change, perhaps, but its importance should not be underestimated.
But its
The
importance
modification,
should not be underestimated.
but its importance should not be underestimated.
Mhm.
The modification that Moral made is just one of the number of options available to players looking to tweak
Tweak means
the
modify.
rocket in order
Tweak means
to
modify.
modify. All right, sir. To tweak their rocket in order to improve their game.
Now, if you noticed, they made a small transition in this paragraph. They moved on from just talking about Murray to players. That means world-class players or players around the world. They did not specify top players, but we are at least generalizing the passage now. Touring professionals, that means top players.
Touring professionals have their rocket customized to their specific needs, says Colin Shiplow, in UK-based professional rocket.
Hold on. So when I am solving the reading passage, I would do something like this. Touring professionals have their rackets customized to their specific needs, says Colin from UK. He says that it is highly important. I don't read these difficult things because I won't be scored based on my correct pronunciation. And these are difficult words for us because these are not common names for us. It's foreign name. It's a foreign name.
Okay.
Right? Says Colin, who is a UK-based professional racket stringer. Then it is a highly
It's a highly important part of performance maximization. Consequently, the specific rockets used by the world's elite are not actually readily available to the public. Rather, each rocket is individually
not
made
rocket.
to suit
Each racket.
each racket is individually made to suit the player who uses it. Take the US professional tennis players Mike and Bob Bryan,
That's it.
for example.
Now it is obvious that the fourth answer has started. So we need to look for the third answer. Did we come across anything that these people take a professional racket singer on tour with them? And does it say most of the or anything like that? Did we come across any information like that?
No.
No. So the obvious answer is not given. But what I would recommend is just do a small skim. Skimming means you're just going through the words quickly. Sorry. You might not understand every single thing while you are skimming. However, you'll get a gist of the passage. So that is what I wanted to do. Just skim through this passage, look for this information once again, the third answer, and then tell me whether we should go with not given or not.
I'll start here. Tourist professionals have their rockets customized to their specific needs.
Any luck so far? Any information about the third?
It's not given, sir.
So we'll confirm
What
that
I'm
it is
saying-
not given. So this is what I call as a two-step verification. It barely takes a few seconds. When we are skimming, it takes just a few seconds to complete this one, hardly 30 seconds. But within these 30 seconds, you'll be understanding this passage even better. And you can verify and you can confirm that this is not given. Sometimes what happens is when we read, we might miss out some information. What if there is something contradicting and we missed it? And that is the reason we should go back and re-verify the information, right? The fourth one, I won't help you in any way whatsoever. You can ask me to slash. I can slash it for you, but you will be finding the fourth answer by yourself. It should be an easy one. So, do you want to slash anywhere?
Let me see. Yes. Mike and Bob Brian use rocket.
Rackets.
Yes, they use rocket. That's a light in comparison to
That are light. This is one information.
That's a light. That's a light. Yeah. In comparison to majority of rockets.
So
they're
3
trying to
ideas.
compare two things. Let me read it. Yeah, it's 3 ideas.
So take your time. You can read it in your mind. Chirag and Nikhil do the same thing. And once you are done, just let me know that you are done, but don't tell me the answer.
All right. I'm done, sir.
Done. Chirag and Nikhil, did you find the answers?
Pardon?
I'm asking to these two guys, Chirag and Nikhil. Were you able to find the answers?
No, sir.
Okay. Akash, we are solving
We
the.
have already know that.
Okay, that's good. Akash, we are solving the fourth answer. I'll give you 1 more minute. Try to solve the fourth answer. It's true, false, or not given. And it should be over here. Somewhere here. Nikhil, did you find it?
No, sir.
Akash, did you solve it?
No, sir.
Let's add 30 more seconds. Try to solve it.
Okay. Answer is not given.
The answer is not given. Anyway, what's your explanation? Why did you say that it is not given?
Actually, these types of information not present in this passage.
Mm-hmm.
Like Mike and Bob Barone use racket that, but in comparison to majority.
Okay. Olivia,
I
no
did not
dance.
found.
Yes, sir. Mine is not given
Mm,
with the rationale that, as per the passage, it's talking about where the is it
mhm.
where the racket is, how specific it is, or where it comes from, how it's been manufactured. But from the question, they are telling us that they use rocket that are light comparison to. There's nothing like compare in the passage. So I don't know.
Okay. So here it clearly says that the the racket that Mike and Bob brand uses, they are light in comparison to the majority of rackets.
Mm.
And here it says now weigh more than the
The weight
average model.
more than.
So this is contradicting. Now it doesn't matter other things are given or not given. This thing is contradicting. So we should go with false.
False.
Got it?
I
This
never
happens.
saw this now.
See, my students always tell me that when I'm helping them solve the answers, it's obvious for them. Yeah, of course, this is the answer. Where
It's
was it
easy.
earlier? But the moment they do
It's
it by
easy.
themselves, this happens. It's not an issue. The thing is, we always learn from our mistakes. What do you think? I've never made mistakes while solving these passages. Of course, hundreds of times. I can say that if you compare all three of your mistakes, I can guarantee that I've done more mistakes in the reading modules, more than you three. Because I've been trying for a couple of years now. Got it? So it's okay to make mistakes, but of course, make sure that you learn from your mistakes. And a teacher is a person who has made more mistakes than the entire classroom combined. So don't be scared of making mistakes. It's completely fine. It's a part of learning. So the rest, this is Cambridge 19 test 1. So solve the rest as your homework. And if you need access to all the Cambridge volumes, just drop me a DM. I'll send you all. I'll just add you to a channel. It's a private channel, so I'll just add you to that, and you should be able to access all the 19 Cambridge volumes, 1 to 19.
Wow.
The reading part, not just reading, the whole volumes.
Thank you very much.
Anyway, so that was one part. Let's address another question type. This is completing the notes. Do you want me to help you solve this one? This is just filling the blanks. Or should we move on to other question types? Let's take a challenging. Let's solve this one. This is something that many students struggle with. The ones with NB and the ones where we have to select the paragraph number. This is from passage 2. The Pirates of Ancient Mediterranean. I hope this is the right passage. Yeah, this is. So first Akash and then Olivia. What's your strategy of solving these question types? First Akash, yes. How do you solve this question type?
First of all, I read the question on like 14, then find keywords.
Find keywords in 14th or in the passage?
First in 14.
Okay. Then
Then searching for similar or paraphrasings in the passages like from A to G.
okay.
After that, skimming and scanning.
Olivia, what's your strategy? Olivia, how would you solve this question type? Are you there, Olivia? Okay, I think there is a network issue. Akash, you should not
Okay.
be marking the keywords for this question type. I'll tell you the reason.
Okay.
I'll just randomly
Okay.
start writing letters. Okay, hold on. Did you say something?
Okay.
I was not able to hear it.
Yes. On other hand, we can read the first and last sentence of each paragraph. Sorry.
So this is something you heard from YouTube. What if the answer is given somewhere here? You'll miss it every single time, and this will
No,
cost you.
but we get some ideas like this information can be in this paragraph or not.
See, the problem is sometimes there will be a huge difference between the introduction, the mini conclusion, and something that is mentioned in the between, and that could sometimes be the answers. Not always. Many times you'll be, yes, of course, you'll be able to identify whether this is the right paragraph or not. But sometimes it can happen that the vital information is shared somewhere in middle. And what if you miss that? And this will now cost you 18 grants in terms of Indian rupees.
Yeah.
Alright? And yes, of course, it's always either 6, 6.5, sometimes 7. And these singular mistakes can sometimes bring your score by 0.5 down. What if you were about to score 6.5 or 7 and now your score is 6 or 6.5 because of this one mistake? So you should not take any chances. Alright, so no.
How can we deal with this types of questions?
So no, you should not be reading the first 2 lines, the last 2 lines. For any of the questions, I don't recommend reading just 2 lines for the paragraph. You need to understand the entire paragraph to understand what's going on. And I'll just randomly add letters. Let's see how many passages are there. So A to G. So there are 7 paragraphs, and we have 2, 4,
But I have-
6.
But but in the exam we have the time constraint. So how can we manage the?
You need to make sure that you read faster.
It-
You need to make it a habit to read every single day.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah.
So yes, the first 2 lines and last 2 lines are for the students who cannot read fast. They are stuck with reading. So they should go with that. They can at least try their luck to get the answers. But the actual way of solving is to read the whole thing, and you should be able to read faster. Right? So we just realized that there are 7 passages. G is equal to 7. And when we counted the questions, we have 6 questions. And we also have one thing called NB. So only 5 of the passages will have the correct answer. One of the passages will be the answer for 2 questions. Let's say that the first and the second answer is G. I'm not saying that this is the right answer. We're just guessing, like, what if this is the right answer? And then randomly I'll select A, D, C, B. Now if you look at the actual problem, if this is the actual answer, and what if we are looking for this keyword in the first paragraph, will you be able to find anything similar?
No.
You will not be able to. What if you look for the same information, involvement in piracy, in the second paragraph? You will not. And what if you reach the last paragraph and then you be like, oh, this is here, this is given here? You'll be wasting a lot of time just reading the passages
Yes.
for no reason. So the strategy should be, forget that these questions exist. All you need to do is read the passage with an intention to understand what is the essence of this passage. That's it. That is the only thing you'll do. Got it? So we'll start reading the first answer, the first paragraph, that is A, and then we'll move on to the questions. I'll tell you how, but let's first finish the passage. So what I would recommend is, Akash, you should read the first point, the first sentence, and the second sentence will be read by Olivia. The third sentence I'll read it so we can finish it quickly. So Akash, please start.
Sentence or a paragraph?
The paragraph, the passage, the first sentence. So
Yeah.
the first sentence would end here. The second sentence ends. Yeah.
When one mentions pirates, an image springs to most people's mind of a screw of misfits, daredevil, and adventurer in command of tall sailing ships in the Caribbean Sea.
So this is what they're trying to explain. that whenever we hear about pirates or whenever somebody mentions pirates, we start seeing those images that we have seen in cartoons or movies, that there will be daredevils, there will be misfits, there will be rebels who will be fighting with people, and we will think about Caribbean Sea with huge ships and stuff. Olivia, the second sentence. Olivia, are you there? You sent a text message. You sent a message. Just let me check. Sorry, sir. I will follow silently. Okay, not an issue. So I'll be reading the second sentence. Yet from the first to third millennium BCE, BCE stands for before Common Era, thousands of years before these swashbucklers began spreading fear across the Caribbean, pirates prowled the Mediterranean, raiding merchant ships and threatening vital trade routes. So what they basically did is, for thousands of years, they were surrounding and swarming the Mediterranean Sea, and they used to raid merchants. That means they used to loot these merchant ships, and they used to threaten the vital trade routes, the most important routes that the merchants used for trading stuff. The third sentence, however,
However, despite all efforts and the might of various
ancient
ancient state pirates that could not be stopped, the
could not be
situation
strong.
remained unchanged for thousands of years.
So what they're trying to say is, despite all the efforts and the might, that means the power of various ancient states, they tried their best. Piracy could not be stopped. That means these pirates, we were not able to stop them. The government was not able to stop them. The situation remained unchanged for thousands of years. That means these pirates ruled the Mediterranean Sea for thousands of years. That means millenniums. Only when the pirates directly threatened the interests of ancient Rome did the Roman Republic organize a massive fleet to eliminate piracy. That means only when they bothered the Romans, the Roman Republic organized a fleet of, not exactly police, but people were assigned to take care of these pirates. Then, under the command of
Under the command of the Roman general Pompey, Rome eradicated piracy, confirming the Mediterranean
Mediterranean
into, me- uh,
Mare
into
Nostrum,
mere
RC.
nostrum.
Okay, eradicated means completely removed. So under the rule or the reign of Roman general whose name was Pompey, Rome was able to eradicate piracy. That means they removed all the pirates and transformed the Mediterranean Sea into the name, they named it Mare Nostrum, that means RC. Did you understand the passage? Did you understand what
Yes.
they were trying to say? The difference while actually solving the passage would be, you will be by yourself, you'll be reading these things in your mind, and it won't take this much time. We were taking turns and we were trying to read, I was trying to explain. So these minutes will be saved, and this will be done in maybe a minute or just a couple of seconds. You should be able to read and understand the passage. Now what I want you to do is eliminate the first answer. Is this passage referring to the question number 14? Was there a reference to denial of involvement in piracy?
Mm,
I'm not able to hear it. Hello? In this
Yes, sir.
passage A, was there a reference to a denial of involvement in piracy?
No, sure.
Yes.
Nishant, what did you say?
No.
No. Okay, perfect. So this is not the right answer. This is not the right passage. What about 15? Details of how a campaign to eradicate piracy was carried out. They did mention that they eradicated
Yes. That's
piracy.
in last sentence.
They did mention that they eradicated piracy, but did they show how a campaign worked and how it was carried out?
No, they don't mention.
Then we cannot select this one. Maybe in the next passages they will mention that this was a campaign, this was how it was organized, and that this is how they removed them. Moving on to the next one. A mention of the circumstances in which states in the ancient world would make use of pirates. Did anything mentioned about the use of pirates?
Mm.
No. Can you see that these things are now obvious? These things are of course not the answers. I almost switched to Gujarati. Anyway, 17th. A reference to how people today commonly view pirates. Was there a reference of how we
Mm.
perceive pirates, how we imagine pirates in big ships and daredevils and the misfits? Was anything mentioned like
I
that?
don't think that there is no information about it.
And it is in the beginning. Did you see the direct reference to this paragraph? So this should be the answer.
People mention.
Hmm?
Actually, I read about after however, so I don't know about beginning.
Okay, so you joined a little bit late. Akash, you were already there. We already mentioned this one. Akash, did you get the point? Why I said that 17th answer should be A?
Yes.
Because it clearly states that when one mentions pirates, an image springs to most of people's mind of a crew of misfits. Misfits means rebels who do not fit to society. Daredevils and adventurers in command of a tall sailing ship in the Caribbean Sea. So, yes, we'll write the answer A over here. And here we got an information that there could be one answer or one letter which can be used more than once. So, of course, we'll be reading 18 and 19. So, if it matches with any of the answers, we'll go with that. So, 18th, an explanation of how some people were encouraged not to return to piracy. Was anything like that mentioned in the passage?
Mm.
No, sir.
Not at all. So, no, 18th is not the answer. What about 19? A mention of the need for many sailing vessels to stay relatively close to island.
Mm.
So, we found the answer. Did you get the strategy?
Yes.
The best part is we read an entire passage, we verified whether these things are right or wrong, and now we can check whether this information is given over here or not. And as there are more questions, we can check these ones too. So just by reading one paragraph, we can look for 3 different question types. And once we are done solving it, then we can move on to paragraph B, and then again we'll verify whether any of these things make sense. And this is the best strategy I have come across so far, because every other way, even if you mark the keywords, even if you try to mark all the keywords or skim or scan, it doesn't work, because only the answer makes sense when the passage is fresh in your mind. And this same strategy can be applicable for list of headings. We do the same thing for list of headings. We don't want to mark the keywords for list of headings. We directly jump to the passage. If we read the passage, we understand it, we'll just take a few seconds. We won't spend 2 to 3 minutes per passage. It should take a couple of minutes, maybe 1, maybe 2, and then you should be able to verify and eliminate the incorrect passages, incorrect options. Got it? IELTS reading is not just about reading, it's also a mixture of reading skills, vocabulary, strategy, grammar, and whatnot. So all of these things combined. It also includes skimming and scanning. There are question types in which skimming and scanning will help you to reach the answer quickly. But all these skills combined will help you to find the answers quickly. Let's say that I remove every single strategy out there. You should be able to find the answers, but the problem is it will take a long time just by reading it. Got it? So I think we should keep it here. We'll definitely catch up next week. Olivia, Akash, Chirag, Nikhil, and there was one more guy. All of you, thank you so much for joining. It was an absolute pleasure. Olivia, do you have any questions, or anybody else who has any questions right now? I hope not. So thank you so much for joining. As I said, it was an absolute pleasure. We'll catch up definitely for the next 79th Q&A session, and I'll see you very soon. Thank you so much for joining.